Welcome to another video from explainingcomputers.com, and in which I'm going to answer the key questions that people are asking about Windows 10. Specifically, I'm going to look at installation, I'll then look at the new Start menu, the Cortana virtual assistant, before coming back to the big question, should you install Windows 10? So, here I am installing the Windows 10 upgrade, which by the magic of filmmaking will speed through in the background as I answer some of your questions. The first question is, who could upgrade for free to Windows 10? And the answer is anybody who's currently running Windows 7 or Windows 8.1 can upgrade for free for the next year, and it should run fine on your existing hardware. Now, that's all very well, but many people are saying, I don't have the icon to upgrade to Windows 10. So say, for example, we look down here on a PC running Windows 7. Honestly, this is running Windows 7, it's running a classic skin, but down here, there's no icon for upgrading to Windows 10. So what would I do? Or maybe you have clicked the icon, it hasn't arrived yet. How can you get it quicker? Well, if you go to this web page, Microsoft's download page for Windows 10, I'll put this link in the video description, and you scroll down, you will see there are two buttons to enable you to upgrade straight away. You just click this button and it allows you to upgrade straight away. You do, however, have to know if you're running a 32 or a 64-bit version of Windows. How do you know that? Well, if you go back to your desktop, you do Properties on Computer, here in Windows 7, similar in Windows 8.1, and you can see here I am definitely running Windows 7 Home Premium, and I'm running the 64-bit version of the operating system. So to do an upgrade, I would actually click the 64-bit version there. That would download. It's only going to download a small tool. That's not Windows 10 itself. We could then open this up. Yes, I want to run it. And it now gives me the option of upgrading this PC now, which is the default. Or if you wanted to, you could create installation media. This means you could create yourself a DVD from which you can install Windows 10 and a clean install on a PC, providing you had a Windows key, which is written on the disks you've installed from previously, or you get from your existing PC. Many people are asking, will installing Windows 10 remove their programs? Will you have to reinstall your applications? And the answer is, you won't. Installing Windows 10 should keep all of your existing programs and installations. It'll even keep all of your settings. Will installing Windows 10 remove your data from your PC? Again, it shouldn't. There's no reason your data will be touched, but you should always keep a good backup of your data, particularly before doing an operating system upgrade. How long will it take to install Windows 10? Well, I downloaded Windows 10 about 48 hours after it had come out. It took me 10 hours to bring down about 3 gigabytes of data. I don't think that's why it's called Windows 10, but clearly everyone was hitting the Microsoft servers on the 31st of July 2015. It shouldn't take that long in the future, and I have to say the whole process was very painless to go through and install. Talking of which, the installation on the screen here is now completing. I'll just speed through the final bits of the process. There's always extra bits on the end, and it'll arrive on the Windows 10 desktop, which has kept all the settings from my previous desktop. It really is a very effective upgrade process Microsoft have put in place. But now we've arrived on the desktop, I think I'll show you some of the new features in Windows 10. So here we are on the final Windows 10 desktop, and one of the things about Windows 10 is we've got a new Start menu. Now, if you saw my previous video, you'll have seen the Start menu appears with tiles on it like this. It combines the Metro tiles with a traditional Start menu. But here, I've actually got my Start menu set up, so I've just got the icons for the programs, the menu items. I haven't got any tiles out over in this space, and I find that a bit better. Now, the one thing I'd say about this Start menu, it is very nice. We can run a program from the menu. I can click on, say, 3D Builder, which seems to come with Windows, and I can load in a 3D model and whiz it round. That's all very exciting. But down on this Start menu, I can't determine what goes up here. These are simply my most used items. Now down here, we've got all apps, so I can click on all apps. And again, you can get to apps, but you can't determine the order. They're alphabetic from Microsoft. As far as I can see, there's no way of adding things to this menu. There's no way to, for example, right click it and do something. So yes, we've got access to all programs via the start menu, but it isn't quite like it was previously. Now you might be thinking, surely you can add them on. Surely I can take, say, the calculator, I can right click it, and I can pin to start. I can. But it pins it over here. I can add, say, the calendar as well. Pin to start. But that's getting a bit big for, I think, for a start menu. So you might be thinking, well, can you make them smaller? Right click again. Yes, I can. I can make those items smaller. And you think, therefore, I can maybe put that down there. And I could maybe then drag this across. But you can't. As soon as you've got tiles out here, this is your minimum width. The only way I can go back to a reasonable looking start menu is to unpin from start, unpin from start, and now it will allow me to snap back to that site. So that's our new start menu. It does work. It's a big improvement on 8.1, but I still think it doesn't quite live up to what we had in Windows 7. One of the really talked about new features in Windows 10 is the Cortana virtual assistant, which runs down here. I click down in the search box, you see Cortana, it comes up with various information, but the interesting thing really is the fact I can speak to it. So for example, I can click on the microphone and go, hello Cortana.
Hello, hello, hello.
And I could say, how are you?
Like Tony, I am great. Thanks for asking.
There's all sorts of phrases in this system. I could do something vaguely useful. Find explainingcomputers.com website. And it takes me out to, admittedly, a search page, and I could find the site I wanted. I could also do a little task. I could say, for example, set an alarm.
Set your alarm for what time?
3 p.m.
I've set you an alarm for 3 p.m.
And that again is very clever. Potentially I can use it to do things like dictating notes. So I could say, take a note.
I'm sorry, I can't take notes for you right now. Check back again after future updates.
And as you can see, like a few other things in Windows 10, Cortana isn't entirely finished yet. The voice recognition is very good. I haven't had to train this system, but it's going to be a while before we can use it as a real virtual assistant. And so we come back to the really big question, should you put Windows 10 on your PC? Well, there's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so if your PC is currently working absolutely fine, I would be cautious. I wouldn't rush into installing Windows 10. You've got a year to install the free upgrade to Windows 7 or Windows 8.1. Sure, I would wait several months before actually installing it, just to make sure everything is tidied out, the errors have been taken out of the system, things like Cortana work as they hopefully finally will. Now you might say, well Chris, you've installed Windows 10. I have. I've installed it on a test PC. But my main PC running Windows 7, on which I'll be editing this video, that is still running Windows 7. It'll still be running Windows 7 in 6 months' time. It'll probably still be running it in a year's time and 2 years' time if it's still working okay. That said, my Surface tablet, which is currently running Windows 8.1, that I will upgrade. I think people running Windows 8.1 have a much better reason to upgrade because 8.1 is not quite so good an operating system, certainly in my view. It's rather schizophrenic, but also 8.1 is much closer to Windows 10, so the opportunities for problems are less significant. Now, with everything in computing, you have to lose to win. You have to actually accept that when you upgrade to Windows 10, if you do so, some things will be worse. Try and play Solitaire, for example. You'll be presented with a whole big Microsoft gaming menu in which Solitaire isn't there. They'd like you to subscribe to your gaming service. Things like the Windows Media Center will have gone. Some of the charms and the gadgets from Windows 8.1 will have gone. You might not really care about those. But the key thing you lose going to Windows 10 is control. Once you've got Windows 10, Microsoft has got complete control of your desktop, complete control of the upgrade, at least, to your desktop. What does that mean? Well, it means if you have the home version of Windows 10, all updates are automatic. You can't turn them off. If you have the professional version of Windows 10, you can delay updates for up to a month, but you still can't turn them off. You have to take the updates. Now, you might be thinking, why is that a problem? People have always had updates to their PCs. It's good to have security updates on, for example. But you have to accept that Windows 10 is, if we believe Microsoft, the last version of Windows with a number. Windows now becomes a service. It will constantly upgrade. There won't be a Windows 11 in 18 months' time you can choose to upgrade to or not. So once you've gone to 10, you've stepped into that Microsoft constant upgrade cycle. And you might not want to do that. I might not want to do that. There are other alternatives for running computers coming along in terms of operating systems, which I'll look at on this channel over the next months and years. So there we are, Windows 10. It's a painless install. It should work on all PCs currently running Windows 7 or Windows 8.1. But my advice would be hang off a bit, hang off for a few months if your PC is doing something critical. But if you actually want to play with the thing and see what it's like and experience the next UI, it does seem to work reasonably well. But now that's it for another video. You can find more computery stuff on explainingcomputers.com, even now on my new Facebook page. But I'll say goodbye for this time, and I hope to talk to you again very soon.